Hello everybody, welcome to week number 2 here, ECAC Overwatch 2 for post-university. My name is Warren JuggleGod Hammond here today to take you through the match. We are in, as I said, week number 2 last week, took a rough 03. So looking to change things around here with their game against Wilson. So we're going to be starting things off on Ilios. And our very first locale will be well. So this I think is one of the most unique maps, honestly, in terms of the control point maps and the control point sub maps. Just having this massive area in the center where really nobody can stand makes for a very interesting fight. And of course, frequently see a lot of roadhogs, Lucios, people who can knock people into that well, but at least for the moment, it appears that we're getting something a little bit different from both squads. It is going to be more of a brawling composition. I'm excited because this is my first time getting to see this new team for post-university. Vero, of course, somebody who we are very familiar with, was on the team last year. Starting out on the Echo today, so this could be pretty beneficial, looking to get a little bit of damage in. Sticky bombs go out. Both teams now kind of meeting in this neutral territory, waiting for the point to unlock. Nobody has it ready just yet, but Ramatra is taking a pretty aggressive stance here over on the right, looking to maybe push into PapaGepetto. They do get slapped, but they're able to stay healed pretty well. Massive anti-nade coming in, though, from Volts. That's going to knock down... post-university just a little bit without Ferreira. They're not really able to keep as much space as they want to, so the first point capture is going to go to Wilson, but a quick pick from Torero, who is now back in the mix, is going to open things up quite a bit, because now they don't have that aerial threat that they have to deal with. PapaGepetto looking to just kind of keep their team alive. Nano boost now, I believe. Oh, no, sorry, not a nano boost, committed. Manny, though, takes out Torero once again, so now with the sports coming back in, it's going to be a little tough for Post University to stick around and stay safe. Ace, in fact, is going to punch his way through most of the team. And that's going to be, I think, one of the first team wipes that we have seen so far here today on this map. As we look into this next fight, we're going to see a pretty wholesale swap coming out from Post University. PapaGepetto has opted now for the battle cattle. We're going to be using the Orisa to try and hold that space a little bit better against Ace, who just about has their ultimate up and ready to go too. So that's going to be a lot to deal with. But that Javelin Spear could help keep them away. Mirage comes in above. PapaGepetto is able to kind of cut away from it. Vero and Torero, both DPS now from Post University, find a pick. So now this should just be clean up here. But what a boost coming out from Noodle Dragon. Take PapaGepetto off the map, 80% and counting. We have an amplification matrix now, but Ace has gone ahead and used their ultimate. Now they are running with a nano boost as well. So this is proving to be a little too difficult, a little too much for Post University to be able to handle in this fight. 90% and counting. It's going to be a tough touch here. Looks like Orisa is going to be the closest one, but Manny, everybody else is already moving forward to see if they can keep them from getting that touch. They do get there, though. Ace goes down. Double burner unable to stay alive as well. Vero now on to the duplicated Torb. Doesn't quite get the touch. That'll be first sub-map, at least, going to Wilson.
1-0.
A lot of good stuff, though that we saw from Posta, despite not being able to get the map win there. I especially liked the swaps that we saw coming out. And in addition, both of the DPS for Post University, I think, are doing a fantastic job right now. Both Vero and Torero had some pretty clutch picks. Post University just wasn't able to quite transition those early picks into a fight win. So hopefully that'll be a little bit different. We're going to have some Metros on both sides this time, so that's going to be interesting. And in addition, we've got the Brigida from Noodle Dragon. That's going to make, putting some pressure onto Volt a little bit difficult, but there's not going to be any dive here as we have the TP to point. PapaGepetto's there already. That's going to be a nice accretion. Almost takes Ace off the map. Ferrer already has Shell plays down and out. I don't think they were expecting the Bastion. A nice anti-nade coming in from Volt again, but it's not going to be able to get anything done. There's just too much health, too many things for Post University to hide behind, using that natural cover very well to their advantage. And that's going to be a pretty quick fight win here for Post University. It looks like they've got a formula now. They have a solution here that I like, and it looks like they too as well. So now as we get reset for the next fight, we see that Volts has gone over to the Lucio now. So that's going to be a very, very squishy backline. Right, there is going to be a lot of AoE healing, so they're going to have some sustain on point, but any kind of big burst damage, especially coming out from Torero, could spell a lot of trouble. We're going to get another TP in as well from Wilson, but instead they opt to go onto the top. You're going to try and drop down below. Ace just barely misses that window. And now all of Post is actually descended kind of on the back line as well. You can see this fight is taking place over here on the coast, and what a quick fight win here from Wilson. But 43% on the board now for Post University. That's a great place to be. As well, they've got several ultimates coming online that could be pretty impactful, especially Vero's. That's the big one that I think I'm going to be looking for right now, because they've got a lot of damage that's going to potentially be coming in from Chell, from Manny, and if you can drop that wall, pretty advantageous spot, you can really do a lot of good work. I love seeing that drops from above as well. Now Vero dropping down with the rest of the team to try and put some pressure onto point. Shellplay is lagging very far behind. Ace looking for an opportunity to maybe use this shatter, but there's just too much damage coming in. The ultimate from Torero, that's going to help secure the rest of this point. They find one, but in the meantime, we've actually got several picks coming out in favor of Wilson. And at this point, they have eclipsed that capture percentage, so they end up coming away with the win regardless. And they end up coming away with it after a very strong early showing again from Post University. And I think, again, Post is kind of falling victim to that, that get a few early picks, but then unable to just transition that into a fight win. They might need to just try and stabilize a little bit more after each pick, just to make sure that they're in a good position to win out the fight. Manny is going to be a big player that I'm going to be watching here for Wilson. 73% and counting. Now they've got their ultimate online. We're going to see him TP way into the back line. Here's the immortality field, but now they don't have a whole lot they can do with it. Death Blossom comes in, but it's going to be Noodle Dragon who actually gets the first pick onto one of the players up post. Torero is down and out. Jojo falls very quickly after that. Rally's coming out now from Noodle Dragon as well. That's going to make it that much more difficult to stay alive and to hold on to this point for Post University. And Wilson will take the first sub-map, or rather, the first map on Ilios. Much better showing on the second sub-map there, though, from Post University. They were able to get that first possession. I think a lot of it, though, might have just been Wilson not quite expecting the Bastion to come out, right? Because Chell, who we're watching with the play of the game right here, had a good. Well, Chell got picked off actually rather early because of the Bastion. I think they just weren't quite ready for them. They didn't know they were going to be there. So moving forward, that's going to be something that I think Post University is just going to have to shore up a little bit, right? Making sure they can win these fights when the other team knows what's happening, when they know what's going to go on. So we're going to get a next map up here for you in just a second. It will be a hybrid map next. So this, of course, includes the classic, the favorite, King's Row, as well as things like Blizzard World. There's a lot of great maps here that I think you can go to if you are Post University. It will be Post's choice here. And they've tried going, I think, head-to-head with the Brawl now, so part of me wonders if maybe they don't try a more of a dive-centric map, or something that allows for maybe more poke, right? Because we do see PapaGepetto likes playing the, oh gosh, why am I blanking on his name? Sigma. Likes playing the Sigma, right? Very similar to the other Post team. I think there's a couple of really strong Sigma players just at Post University, and so I'd like to see a map where that can come to the forefront a little bit more, perhaps. So, still discussing which map they want here. So we're going to throw to just a short break while they get that determined. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the next map right after this. Hello everybody and welcome back. We find ourselves at King's Row, the most classic of classic maps here in Overwatch. This time we're going to have Post University on the defense first. PapaGepetto opting for the Orisa once again, and if everything stays like it is, I'm going to be using the Reinhardt, of course, also synonymous with King's Row in most cases, but Orisa has actually become, I think, arguably even more popular just recently within Overwatch 2, to say the least. Manny also up here looking for an initial pick, but getting poked away by Torero. So this sniper duel is going to be really fun to watch. Shellblaze, though, is going to be the one who draws blood first, actually. Sniping with that icicle. PapaGepetto actually gets anti-naded right off the bat. Jojo does find a nice anti-nade, but they're not going to be able to capitalize on it, and At least 2 ticks should be going here to Wilson. It's just going to be up to whether or not PapaGepetto can get back in time. Looks like they're not going to be able to. So, Vero does get shells, which is going to make this start a little bit better here for Post University. So, I like this play because a lot of times when you lose that initial fight, what a javelin coming out from PapaGepetto as well. That could have been very devastating. Manny, though, strikes back with a pick on the JoJo. So now Herbal Burner is going to have to work a little bit overtime here. PapaGepetto actually got some nasty javelins. That's 2 in a row that looked real nice. Chell Plays unfortunately denies the fire strike there for Ace. But because JoJo went down, they have swapped over to the Alari, which I like that pick as well. Manny, though, unfortunately, just largely uncontested at this point. Really having a field day right now on the Widowmaker. PapaGepetto just gonna go in. Try and clock things up here for a minute, slow things down, maybe get a little bit of ult charge because this fight is definitely going the way, has gone the way now of Wilson once again. So we need to see a pretty quick reset here coming out from Post University if they hope to get another defense here in the streets of Kings Row. But PapaGepetto going down so quickly, that might be difficult. They are going to swap over to the Monkey. They are going to go to the Winston, so this should allow them to get back to point a little bit quicker. The question is, though, will the rest of the team be there in time to support PapaGepetto? So we can see them now staging around this corner. Wall comes out, but that's not going to stop him. He's able to get up and over, drops the bubble onto the point, starting to try and do as much damage with that Tesla cannon as they can, but unfortunately, again, the anti-nade is just massive coming out from Volts, who has just been stellar so far on the Ana for Wilson. Herbal now trying to do, again, a little bit more work trying to keep the rest of the team alive, but unfortunately he's gotten kind of caught out in front. What a fire strike coming in from Ace again. That's what it calls the problem. Shatter lands this time. PapaGepetto hits the ground. The Blizzard is there as well. And Wilson, this is looking to be an incredibly strong team here in the ECAC. They are just cruising through Kings Row right now. So there's going to be a tough attack, I think, here for Post University. They still have an opportunity here to stall it out. PapaGepetto now on the Reinhardt as well. I think if maybe they can duel a little bit better that way. They do go down after a brief foray on point. 4:59 on the clock here for Wilson. That is a blistering time on Kings Row.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
All right, so this attack from Post gonna have to look a lot different, I think, from what we saw on the defense. I think the big thing that Post University needs to do now is just deal with Manny. Manny was an absolute terror in the first part of this map, and as we can see, Manny is going to go ahead and use the Ashe here, which I like the Ashe on defense because you have the Bob ready to go. Right, once of course you build the ultimate, and so that can have more staying power. The Ashe can have more staying power on the point than the Widowmaker, even though the Widow's going to be able to get those one-shot picks a little bit quicker. We're also seeing Ace on the Junker Queen this time around, so there's going to be a pretty aggro defense coming out from Wilson. I'm anticipating Ace going pretty far forward, holding W pretty hard. I think the key then for Post University is going to be how do we punish Ace? How do we punish Ace when we find them going a little too far forward? So I'm really going to be looking towards PapaGepetto to do just that, to swing the hammer, but then also to cut off the heals, right, from the rest of the team, especially Volt. Definitely need to start making sure that those anti-nades aren't getting through quite as much as they were. But Vero already finds Noodle Dragon. Huge fire strike coming out for PapaGepetto, and they are looking to cap this point just about as quickly as Wilson did on their attack. And there we go. They dealt with Manny. They were able to get them out of the equation, take them out of the fight. So, huge fight win here for Post University. This is the kind of fight win that we really needed to see from them, and this has got to be a confidence booster as well, right? Because they are coming into the streets phase with just as much time as we saw Wilson have. So now, PapaGepetto. Give me 1 second. is gonna want to figure out how exactly they're going to be taking this space right here, right? Because right now, sticking on the card, they're giving a lot of space over potentially to Ace, right? But Ace is also holding back pretty far. So next fight, Vero could be the big difference maker here. If she is able to get a nice duplicate on the board, they go back for the Ana. Big anti-nate into the back line. They are taken out of the duplicate form, but not before it causes a lot of problems. In the meantime, Terrera able to finish off Ace because of Vero's anti-nate just keeping the rest of that team at bay for such a long time. That meant there was nobody there to heal Ace, and yeah, this is actually looking to be just as quick as Wilson through the street space as well. Ace is going to stick with the Rissa, though. Vero gets a huge stagger. Vero's absolutely popping off this round. Really seems to have found their footing now, which I'm very happy to see. A couple of support ultimates coming up, though, this time for Wilson. They're actually going to just back off and concede the point here to Post University. Just make sure they've got a little extra time to get prepared. And I think that's a good play, especially considering Chell got picked so late in that last fight. So now we've almost got 5 ultimates online here for Post University. It's going to be Noodle Dragon who uses their Valkyrie first, but PapaGepetto is going to go down under a lot of damage coming out from the team. Manny as well has opted to go ahead and use the Bob. Vero goes in, does find Noodle Dragon. Torero tries with the Dragon Blade, but doesn't find anything. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see a swap here coming out from the Genji after that. But one thing that the Genji does provide on this last portion of the map is it does provide some high ground, right? It provides a lot of high ground advantage for Post University. Ace actually going to use their ultimate pretty early. That Terror Surge is not really finding a whole lot, just kind of closing down for a little bit, but that is a huge blizzard now coming out from Shell Plays. They set their sights on PapaGepetto first, and then the rest of the team is going to fall shortly after that. So 4 minutes, 40-some seconds on the clock right now for Post University. It's not going to be the same time if they finish the map that we saw from Wilson, but there's still plenty of time to finish the map and come back in rounds 3 and 4 to see if they can get a win. See PapaGepetto now swapping over to the Sigma too. It definitely feels like a comfort pick to me, but that's still remains to be seen. Ace going in pretty aggressively, but gets punished for it with an anti-nade. So the Post University tries to make something of it, but they're just unable to get that extra damage in there to really force Ace back. And now that they're about 70% to their ultimate as well, this could be problematic. But Vero now with a duplicated Orisa, unable to stay in that form long enough to get that Terror Surge, but they were headed right for that backline, and now PapaGepetto getting a lot of damage thrown into them. Carrera, unfortunately, unable to get anything done, and again, a big anti-nade coming in. Huge Terror Surge pulls everybody in. It's not quite enough damage to get the kill outright, but pulls everybody out to a position to where they can't really do anything. And now we're looking at about a 3:40-minute time bank. So that last fight took about a minute for Post University. So I want to see them lose these fights a little bit quicker if it's going to go down that way. That way they can really maximize the time here. Again, I love seeing PapaGepetto do these swaps, right? Very early swaps, I think, are the sign of a successful team. So looking for an opportunity here to get a pick, but unfortunately they're going to be knocked off the map this time by Ace. But now Post University is starting to get back some of their ultimates that they need for this next fight. Of course, the big thing they're going to have to watch out for is Chell's Blizzard again, and they don't really have a support ultimate that's able to really handle something like that. We do see it right off the bat as PapaGepetto goes in a little bit too aggressively and gets punished for it. So now, once again, it's going to be just picking off players for Wilson. They really seem to have found their footing here on this third point as well. So I like the adaptation that we're seeing come out from Wilson as well. 2.5 minutes now on the clock. Again, starting to build up some of these crucial ultimates. We have the Nano Blade online right now, so Carrera, I think, is going to be the player to watch in this next engagement. But they're going to need to find a way to get this space. And their deflect is down right now, so they're going to have to play this pretty safe for the moment. Bob coming in as well could cause problems. PapaGepetto, unfortunately, unable to get anything done here. We see a late blade coming out from Torero, but unable to get anything done with that either. So, little under 2 minutes left, and this has gone from just a blitz of a time here for Post University to a bit of a crawl here on third. And they have been unable to take a fight win yet on third point once Wilson kind of put their feet down. And I have to think that you know, the fact that that Wilson gave up second point in favor of getting a little bit more time to kind of set themselves up for success has really paid dividends. Jojo has committed now. The nano has expired. Torero goes down. Herbal try to get something done here. It is a pick for a pick though, and crucially Noodle Dragon is down. So if Herbal is able to keep up this pace with the coalescence, if they're able to get some picks, could be big. Manny does go down, but again, PapaGepetto nowhere to be found. Ace is actually taking a lot of damage here, and Vero might have an opportunity to get a pick. Ace just barely able to hang on to life, and now Volt is in a bad position. Vero recognizes that and has started to push in pretty aggressively, but Orisa comes back. The peel is there from Ace, and that's going to put a stop to that push. So with 40 seconds left to go, now we really need to see a big push coming out. There's a Blizzard as well. Takes out Shell Plays, but a big anti-nade is going to turn things around the other way. One comes in from Jojo as well, but they're unable to capitalize on it. So with 30 seconds left to go, this is last fight territory now for Post. PapaGepetto going over to the Reinhardt now, playing musical picks. Guerrero caught in kind of a difficult position though in the backline. Now they have to go back to the high ground. Vero with a nice duplication onto the Orisa, looking to go into the backline once again, but just unable to stay in that duplicated form as long as they really need to. There's going to be the res coming in, and also reload unfortunately means that Vero's unable to get that pick onto Noodle Dragon. So we are in overtime now with Vero falling. Noodle Dragon goes down though too. It is a little bit advantage now to Wilson, and with this big tack visor coming in from Manny, that will be King's Row going to Wilson.
Play of the game.
Yeah, that was a spectacular fire strike. I remember watching that one. This was on the attack here for Wilson, and Ace, huge plays coming out of that Reinhardt. So we are going to throw it to a short break once again. This is the 5-minute break for the players. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here at map number 3. Current score 0-2. Wilson up by 2. So, Post University hoping that Rialto here is going to be the start of the reverse sweep that they need to get their first win of the season. It's going to be PapaGepetto on the Reinhardt this time around. Love this pick on the Rialto. Vero once again on the Echo, who they've just been fantastic on so far. And we actually have Torero on the Sojourn for the very first time, so this will be interesting to watch. And of course, JoJo on the Alari, which I as well very much enjoy. Her Herbal Burner's actually done a fantastic job as well on the Moira. So I really like this pick, especially considering that, yeah, they've got this Tracer in the back line now, who's gonna have a tough time here. In fact, they may be able to get that pick, but unfortunately, Tracer does duck and dive away just enough to get out of dodge. So this means that Wilson isn't going to be really at full strength until Manny gets healed back up a bit. And Volt's going down very low means that they're going to have to play a little more conservative, which again means the rest of the team will have to as well. We do have Chell on to the Widowmaker this time, so taking up that mantle as Manny is on the Tracer. We do have a trade of the tanks here now, so this could be pretty exciting. As both of these teams now really unable to hold some space, so it's going to come down to these picks that they can get. Manny doing an excellent job of poking out that back line and also staying alive too, right? They know how long they can really afford to be back there. Beautiful headshot there from Torero. It's going to be 1 DPS for 1 DPS though, as Vero is in a bit of a tough spot. PapaGepetto's now back on the Reinhardt, so just shortly after Ace gets there as well. But that shield going down, looking a little rough at the moment. They're coming up. Manny now on the side as well. Torero with another big shot coming out from the Sojourn. Love what I'm seeing right now on the Soj from them. Manny once again trying to kind of pepper this back line, but Torero is aware of it. And that plus the Moira is going to make it very, very hard for Manny to really get much of anything done here. And PapaGepetto smells blood in the water, takes matters into their own hands, takes out Ace. Manny now, again, just having a difficult time trying to find anything in this backline. They're doing damage, but they're not really getting much done. But in the meantime, Volts did get PapaGepetto, who bit off a little bit more than they could chew. So now, once Ace gets back, which won't take too terribly long, Post University is going to have to back up and give space here, right? Especially considering that Ferrero's down now. We can see Vero trying to escape at this point. JoJo caught in kind of a difficult position. Manny dropping back for them as well. PapaGepetto is here, but they can't really get to JoJo. They are eventually taken out as Noodle Dragon uses their skill orb to take them out of the equation. And that's going to be a pretty quick team wipe here. Just an unfortunate situation there. The Staggers kind of got the better of Post University in that circumstance. But it was a great defense overall. Minute and a half was what was left on the clock before they captured this first point. Girl does get Maddie. So that's going to slow things down just a little bit here. It's going to give Post University an opportunity to really figure out exactly how they want to take this defense. They have 5 ultimates online as well, so as long as they don't overspend here, they should be able to put themselves in a pretty good position. They need this fight win though, so I think that more than anything is going to be key to them. Manny once again ducking and dodging kind of in that back line for an opportunity. Big pick right here. The Shatter comes in as well. Nice charge to finish off of Volts. And that's going to be a big fight win here for Post University. One that they really needed, but again, they still got to worry about Shells, who was up here in the high ground for Wilson. The sniping coming out from Wilson has just been spectacular so far. The snipers are really, both Manny and Shells have been fantastic. Like what I've seen from them so far. Now the fight really starting to take off on point. And big thing too, that was yeah, that fight was only won with a shatter, right? From PapaGepetto. So this is looking good here, and Torero is in a great position to try and take out this backline, but now the rest of their team is kind of gone, so they need to figure out a way to get back to them. Volts goes down very low, but they should be healed up plenty easily by Noodle Dragon. But in the meantime, now we see PapaGepetto coming in with a charge, taking Ace back towards the front of their team. things have kind of hit a stalemate here for the moment. Shell does have the sights online now, so that could be devastating. They need to really, Post University needs to really make sure that they are keeping track of where Shell is. Big anti-nade comes out from Volts once again, but PapaGepetto able to kind of shake it off pretty reasonably. We've got JoJo coming in with an ultimate, but not going to find anything because Ace gets the eat on it as well. Huge play coming out there from the Ursa. In the meantime, though, Shell is down. The shield's looking a little rough, though, here from PapaGepetto. They're trying desperately to build up this Shatter, but now they're going to have to deal with this Terra Surge here. It's going to do some damage, but not a ton. Big anti-nade comes in, though. What a javelin coming out from Ace. Stops the Shatter in its tracks, and now it is just free firing for Shell in the backline and the rest of Wilson as they end up with a little less time than they did, you know, post capturing first point. Minute 30 versus a minute 15. But still, that's a good amount of time for them to capture. But we are heading up to one of the most difficult points to capture in the entire game. This Rialto third point is a nightmare for the attacking squad. And we can see now, nice duel happening over here with Torero, but they're going to be taken out by Manny, who gets the better of them. Shield goes down, and so that leaves PapaGepetto kind of in the open. Now we've got the duplicate coming out from Vero, but she's unable to find anything there either. It's forced to kind of duck and dodge into the backline. Now it's just JoJo and Herbal trying to keep things alive on point, but fortunately the card hasn't gotten too terribly far. 2 minutes left to go. 70 HP is what JoJo ended up going down to. There's going to be a trade 1-for-1. Both DPS from each squad is down. Now we've got the Nano Boost, though, committed onto Ace. They're looking to build this Terra Surge as quickly as they can, but they're not going to have it during the Nano Boost, which is a little unfortunate for them. Here comes the Terra Surge. Huge! Off the back of that, we've got the Tag Visor as well. A little bit over a minute 30 is what the clock is going to read as Wilson completes the map.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Both of these teams look to be exceptionally good on the attack. And I think if King's Row is anything to kind of judge or base what we are going to see here off of, then I would anticipate Post being able to put up a pretty quick attack here on these first 2 points. And again, I think really it's going to come down to the third, right? Is Post going to be able to kind of punch through the defense that Wilson is going to be able to put up on third, right? Because they looked fantastic, right? Once their backs were against the wall, they stuck their foot down and they did what they needed to do to get the map win. So looking onto this attack, I like what we're seeing here. Vero again on the Echo, Torero on the Soldier now, on the Soldier 76, which just kind of based on how good they looked on the Sojourn, I think this is going to be a great pick for Torero as well. Gonna swap over to the Widowmaker though, instead, at least to start out, and I think that's a good idea too. You've got so many long sight lines here that you really need to kind of control on this first point, even the first couple of points, that having a Widowmaker is going to be pretty important, especially considering Chell is on the Widowmaker again. We see the Widow duel starting out in earnest up top. Chell's going to get the better of Torero though this time around, but the res is going to be in. It's not going to slow things down too terribly much, as we do have Herbal on the Mercy. JoJo over to the Baptiste as well, which I like too. Nice Fire Strike coming in. Going to be, again, a 1-for-1 DPS pick, which is going to favor Post University here. The Immortality Field had to be used as well by JoJo, so now, Ace, if they want, they can try and push. Manny is on the Bastion too, so PapaGepetto intelligently just kind of hanging back, using that natural cover to make sure they don't take too much damage and they can keep their shield up. They've actually got about 900 right now, so they should be able to push forward pretty aggressively, especially considering Ace just used some of their Javelin spin. Vero finds Manny, who just got a little bit too aggressive, and Torero this time able to win that Widow duel with a flank shot. So now this should just be cleanup here for Post University, but Vero needs to make sure they stay alive as well. Mercy's able to get up to them. He'll Herbal finds what they need, but Volts with a huge shot. The Anna, the sniper from the backline, finds Torero. JoJo has this amplification matrix, though, and PapaGepetto, I think, is trying to hold on to some of these fire strikes. They do let one go. And now Shell really looks to be kind of lighting things up. They've maybe kind of found their footing here on this defense. And after another huge anti-nade from Volts, things have gone from bad to worse here for Post University. 2:20 on the clock, so still plenty of time for them to make progress, get through this first portion of the map. But again, I feel like Post is kind of falling victim to this... to getting these initial picks, but just not being able to transition them into a fight win quite yet. So, moving into this next fight, we've got almost 4 ultimates here online for Post, and 5 actually for Wilson. So, it's going to be down to, I think, who uses them first and best. We've got a Manny coming in with with their ultimate. It's not going to find anything. The Immortality Field was there. JoJo played that beautifully. And speaking of JoJo doing a great job keeping their team alive, Herbal Burner does go down. But they do trade, and now with Volts out of the equation as well, could be able to get this fight win. But both DPS are very low at the moment. They are forced to drop back. But in the meantime, PapaGepetto uses their Shatter to get the drop onto Ace. And everybody spent just about everything they had. Both teams on that last fight. But will be Post who comes away with the fight win. It remains to be seen, though, whether or not Wilson is going to try and mount another defense here, and it looks like they will. They're going to have enough time to touch points. So, PapaGepetto tries to go in with the charge, but Ace with the Javelin Spin able to keep them from doing too much damage. Vero, though, huge! Stinky Bomb takes out all the DPS. PapaGepetto, a little bit of health left. Ace is trying to do everything they can to stay alive and get some damage in, but it will not be enough in Post. We'll see the streets of Rialto. We got a little bit of a swap happening too from Wilson. Chell is going to go over to the Tracer, and that's going to cause some problems for Torero. It's going to allow Wilson to kind of control those flanks a little bit better, try and keep Torero at bay, but Torero does have a blade at this point, so again, looking for that to be kind of a difference maker here, but I think they will really need to try and deal with this Tracer first, right? Because as soon as Torero is gone, Manny's going to be able to kind of dive the back line as well. Nice job to force out the recall there, but Torero with just a sliver of health. The heals just weren't quite there quick enough to keep them alive. So now we turn our focus back towards the front line. The nano boost has been delivered to Ace, who has the Terror Surge. They get so many players in it. That, along with the Blizzard, is going to be absolutely devastating. But Torero and Vero do get a couple of picks. It's not going to be enough, though, to turn the tides of this fight, and Wilson will get another hold.
I can't be matched. My ultimate's ready. I'll keep you up.
Really going to be watching JoJo in this next fight. I want to see a big amplification matrix coming out from them, especially considering Torero's back on the Bastion, and we do have PapaGepetto on the Reinhardt too, right? Those amp matrix fire strikes are just huge. They, you know, they can completely decimate the switches. They can take them out of the equation very quickly. That's going to be a nice Javelin Spin again from Ace. They're able to use the Javelin itself to knock PapaGepetto off the map. The duplicate does come in. Vero almost has the Blizzard ready to go. They are going to get it out. Can they turn the tide? I believe it is just Vero against the world right now. And unfortunately, they're in a bad position, so I don't think they're going to quite be able to get out. It was a nice effort. PapaGepetto now onto the Urissa, deciding that it just kind of need this extra sustain for these fights. Minute left to go here. Again, Post University leading at, oh, what a huge pick coming out from Torero. And now the Javelin Spin pushing Ace back. Get on to about half health. That's going to buy a lot of space, though, here for Post University. 45 seconds left to go. We have the Coalescence coming out from Noodle Dragon now, and behind that, Ace is able to get the pick onto Vero. Vero just about has their ultimate ready to go. Herbal does get the Resurrection off, so that's going to be a big boon. And with Volts down, they should be able to push pretty aggressively. The Pulse Bomb almost gets a pair of kills, but it's not going to be quite enough. Now we see the ultimate coming out from Bastion. They still have a few players to kind of deal with here. It's both Or actually, it's one support plus both DPS. Kell's going to eventually be forced to back away. It's a lot of space gained here, but now we are firmly into overtime. So Post University has to get this win here, and it might be off the back of the Terror Surge for PapaGepetto, but it's not going to last. Now there's going to be a Nano Boost committed. Ace has their Terror Surge as well. They're going to find two with it. PapaGepetto's looking for one of their own. Vero finds two as well. There's still players alive. Manny, the last player remaining here for Wilson, trying to just duck and dodge behind this wall that they put up. Can they stall long enough for somebody to be able to get back? It looks like they might. Chell's going to get the touch, but they're forced to recall. Now PapaGepetto takes the space and they claim the point for Post University. So, minute and a half left to go here. Can't afford to make any mistakes, and unfortunately that's going to be one right there. Bolts is able to find Vero. Unfortunately, having it right at the beginning here means that the res is also available. Not going to have it for this next fight, but at least they are at full strength. And again, things have to be perfect from here on out. 3 ultimates on the board here for Post University. Wilson has nothing, so as long as Post is able to play this well, play this smart, they should be able to come away with a fight win, and that's going to put them on the precipice of completing this map. Recall's forced out. Manny taking a lot of damage again. Noodle Dragon is gone. Vero's able to find them in the back line. And now a lot of damage going into Ace. PapaGepetto putting in the work. The Immortality Field is there. That was a clutch play by Jojo, who has the Amplification Matrix ready to go again. Now the Bastion looking to see if they can get something on and off. Well, 30 seconds left to go, though, and PapaGepetto has fallen. So, unfortunately, Torreira bit off a little bit more than they can chew, so they are going to fall as well. Herbal goes in for the rest, but is unable to get it. They get javelined out of the way. And that's going to spell, that's going to be very, very detrimental here for Post University. 14 seconds left to go. They have to find a way to get onto point here. They don't really have too many heroes who are very aggressive. PapaGepetto trying desperately to touch point, but they're taken out by the Coalescence. And the rest of the damage coming in. Torero doesn't find any purchase either, and that's going to do it. Post University, the names didn't get swapped, so ignore that for the moment. But Post University unable to get the reverse sweep, unable to make it happen here on Rialto, but a great showing from them regardless. I really like what I've seen so far, and really looking forward to seeing what the rest, what this team is going to do moving forward through the rest of the season. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Be sure to follow Post University Esports anywhere social media can be found. My name is Warren JuggleGod Hammond. Excited to be here with you and for the rest of this fall semester. So can't wait to see what's going to be in store for us next week. GG's and see you next time.